That we know of.
That we know of. Okay. Eternity, if something's moving faster than the speed of light, it has to be going backwards in time. So eternity has to go backwards. So I wrote this whole piece once about how eternity has no future, because it has to be going faster than light and therefore backwards. So that's my greatest conundrum.
Can't seem to figure it all out yet.
I can't figure it out yet. No, sir, I can't.
Can you tap into some of these dimensions to get special knowledge?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's coming, but it's coming sort of at its own pace, and it's teaching what it wants to teach, not what you want to know.
There are some people who say that they have tried to practice things like this in trance states and that they're scared to death. Like you said, you're still scared.
I am, yes.
What is it that really scares you?
Well, it's the fear of the unknown. But say, for example, I described that experience where I got hit by an electric shock and went blind?
Yes.
That was real. I had another experience where my legs disappeared and I fell through the floor. That was real. And I was in a hotel room on my own, and I was terrified. I did not know how to get out of that one. And so it's the presence of, I've seen beings come through the wall, and that was real, and that scared me as well, where they just sort of like, imagine a face against saran wrap or something, shrink wrap.
Yeah.
And then you just sort of see it, and suddenly, bloop, and it comes through. And that really took me back. The ghouls have taken me back. They scare me.
Speaking of ghouls, a lot of people who are looking at your picture on our website right now say in the window they also seem to see figures peeking through.
Oh, Jesus. Let me go take a look. I don't know. I don't know about that.
All right, you do that during the break, because we'll be right back with you, Stuart. I'm George Norrie. Don't go anywhere. Get up to the coast. Those of you who don't have computers, I got into the computer world kicking and screaming myself a few years ago, and man, I'm glad they forced me a long time ago to start learning how to use a computer. If you don't have one, go get yourself an NX. Should I go, I don't know when, to Brazil and take this brew? Let me know on Fast Blast, and I'll weigh it. I'll be back in a moment with my guest, Stuart Wilde. His website, stuartwilde.com, probably jammed up right now, but get up to the coasttocoastam.com website and look at the arrival of Men with Wings, the picture that Stuart's webmaster just got up to Lex. Unbelievable. And welcome back to Coast to Coast. I'm George Norrie. Stuart Wilde, my guest. Stuart, what is the mainstream science doing about this? Anything?
Well, I think mainstream science is doing a fantastic job of trying to explain it by working it out mathematically. I mean, initially we started with 3 dimensions. Einstein gave us a 4th, time. And then the idea was that with string theory we'd get to 10 dimensions. And in fact, that got thrown out, and we got to 11 with supergravity. So we're moving up the ladder. Supergravity gives us 11 dimensions.
Well,
and then there's a mirror world, so you've got to go to 22 immediately. So we're basically up to 22 dimensions, and now they're working out the mathematics of it. I mean, it's quite incredible what some of these people have done.
Do you think we'll ever get some real answers,
yes,
Stuart?
We're right on the threshold of that dream, yes. We are definitely going to get real answers, absolutely real.
If we do get these answers, what can we do? How can we change our physical society right now?
It'll make everybody very, very humble. Their arrogance will disappear in a second, because they'll suddenly see themselves at the footstool of this enormous thing, which is the creation, the universe, all around us. Humility is where this spiritual journey goes in the end.
The Mayans talk about 2012, perhaps the end of something.
Yes.
Does this have anything to do with some of the stuff you've done?
I don't know, George. I'm not a sort of end-of-the-world cataclysmic kind of person,
You're not a doom and gloom person.
I'm not a doomer. But this energy's arrived now, and it's well documented. It was just a few people that saw the morph 3 years ago. But now they're like tens upon thousands of people. And it's here. It's sort of, some people in the New Age call it the arrival of the goddess, which is sort of kind of a cutesy term. But again, you can understand what they're trying to say. They're saying it's the feminine spirit. It's the feminine principle. it's softness, it's love, it's tenderness, it's forgiveness, it's compassion, it's all of those things. And that will definitely change the world. It'll change the world politics, it'll change the world of finance, it'll change our societies.
But what about these ghouls, these demons? What if they get the better part?
They're still there. I mean, they still run the world, but bit for bit they will be beaten back. I mean, that is what Armageddon is. It's a war inside another world, not this world.
Do you ever hear sounds from these dimensions?
Yes, all the time.
I'm going to get you a sound that we're going to play for you.
Okay. How much fun is that?
And then I want you to tell me if you've ever heard it before.
Thank you. Yes.
There are some that say that this is a recording of hell. And I'll tell you a little bit about the story. Could be an urban legend for all I know. But apparently the former Soviet Union, the Russians there, they were digging. They were digging this incredibly long hole down, very deep hole. And they picked up these sounds. So I'm going to play them for you. You're going to hear them just like everybody else. Tell me if you've ever heard them in these other dimensions. You ready? Okay. Here we go. Have you ever heard anything like that?
Only the rasping at the beginning, George. The initial rasping, the rasping sound, I've heard. The one where it goes more like human voices, I'm not sure that I have heard, no. But that demonic world is there. It is absolutely there, and it's unbelievably violent and nasty, and it's everywhere. But what keeps people safe is their love. You know, if you express outwards and you sort of express love. I have a friend who's a teacher called Denise Lynn, and she says, you know, look at the world with a soft eye. If you offer the world forgiveness, if you offer them a soft eye, if you offer warmth, you express this love outwards, the ghouls can't get you.
Is there a devil?
Yes, but not a devil in the sense of one entity. The devil is the collective darkness inside the subconscious of humanity.
Well, do you think there's a being running around with horns and hoofs and things like that?
You could materialize that. You know, you could materialize that being, and there would be demonic ghouls that can show up looking like that.
So it is possible.
Yes, completely possible. But in the sense that what is devilish is the collective nastiness of humanity, the secret darkness.
What are the dangers, though, Stuart, when you go into some of these do you go into these ghoulish dimensions on purpose?
Yes.
That's dangerous for you.
Well, we go to look. We're travelers. We're natural-born travelers.
What happens if they attach themselves to you, or what if you bring them in here?
Yeah, well, that's happened, you know. I'll tell you something that happened to me that was very strange, okay? A couple of years ago, your show had Whitley Strieber used to do a part of the show on a Saturday night,
Used to do Dreamland.
Dreamland, right, okay. So I did a Dreamland show with him from London, and I was talking mostly about UFOs and greys and stuff, and I was kind of a bit derogatory because they are demonic entities. Anyway, I put the phone down, and I felt really sort of precise about the information that I'd offered. Mm-hmm. Well, at exactly 24 hours later, at 4 a.m. in the morning, which is when I did the show from London, I got hit by a being from behind that ripped off part of my crown chakra. And it made me really, really sick for 4 days. And even now, 4 years later, my chakra still isn't right. So there are these reptilians and so forth that, like David Icke talks about and so on. They're all there. They are definitely around, you know. And they can get pissed if you ridicule them or try to bring their power down, you know.
I have told people, for example, to stay away from Ouija boards because I think that opens up a portal or dimension.
It does, and it's quite often a demonic because it sort of leads them along with a lot of sort of ooh and ah at the beginning, but it can take control of people and then really send them the wrong way.
Let's talk about exorcisms for a moment. People are possessed by spirits, by demons that take over their body. Are they getting to them this way?
Yes, definitely, no question of it. A certain amount of demonic possession is just normal mental illness. But then there's a percentage of it that is not mental illness at all, and it's where a being has managed to infiltrate inside somebody's soul or their mind or their personality. Can I ask you a question, George?
Yes, you may.
You know, you have a lot of UFO people on and so forth, Hopkins and those kind of characters.
Yes.
Would you say that the alien abduction thing is like growing or diminishing?
That is
going steady?
That's a good question. I would say that we might be in a period. Now, this is my guess.
Yeah.
That we might be in a period where it's diminishing or it's stabilized.
Right.
I don't hear as many reports as we did several years ago.
Right. Well, I think that's because the demonic entities are taking some serious hits in this Armageddon, you know?
Maybe.
So their ability to get in is getting less and less.
Or they've already accomplished what they needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Greys. I've had 6 Grey experiences where they were like at the end of the bed and so forth. And I must say that, I mean, I'm a pretty experienced sort of traveler, you know?
Do you think you've been abducted?
Well, I didn't think they got me because I was just looking at them and they were looking at me, but nothing happened.
And how did they get to you? From a physical craft or from a dimension?
Well, on one occasion, I saw the craft. It was over the house, like at about 200 feet. And it was classic. I mean, it was 30, 40, 50 feet, you know, across, you know, like, what's double the radius, whatever that is.
Oh, sure.
Like 60 feet across both ways.
Yeah.
And it was just hovering over the house, and it was like unbelievably low, like 250 feet, 300 feet. That was the only time I saw the craft. And then other times I saw the Greys without the craft.
Do you think they're chasing you?
Well, I had 60 UFO sightings.
60?
60 over a period of 4 years. I documented them.
God, I can't even get one. I've tried.
Come with me, George. I'll show you.
Well, you're taking me to Brazil. You're trying to get me to drink some brew, of which, by the way, 500 people also think I need to go with you.
500 people have hit your internet
yes,
site.
already. Oh, no, the internet site alone gets about 1.5 million hits a week.
My God, George. I told Ralph Miller to call you up and persuade you. So he might be on the line. You could ask your producer, hey, is Ralph Miller on the line? Because I told him to ring you up and tell you to come.
How long will I be gone?
Just a week.
Well,
1 week of your life.
It's got to be a vacation week then, I guess.
Yeah, vacation. And it's a 5-star posada on the beach with these beautiful cabinas, and it's like, and it's only a small group of people. It's not like hundreds of people go at once.
And I'm drinking ayahuasca for a week.
Three times in a week.
I'll think about it. They want me to go. I mean, fine.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, I'll take you there and stuff. I'll go with you, man. I promise you.
Man.
I'll hold your hand all the way.
Are you English, by the way?
Yeah, half English and half Italian.